guess that's my cue. Welcome to Ignite Space 2024! Oh my goodness! I know you're in the lull after a few sandwiches, but we can definitely do better than that, guys. Ignite Space, this is your UK conference 2024! Come on, there we go! I knew you got it in you. We are here in the expansive Royal Armouries at Leeds. There was a slight moment earlier where the planetarium was a little bit like a soft play area, you know, the bouncy castle where it was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's over there. There is so much happening across these 2 days. This is where you get to talk directly to primes like Airbus, Lockheed Martin, Space, alongside VCs, experts in quantum and cybercrime, whilst winning prizes in a pub quiz, dancing to a live band, zoning out in a travelling planetarium. Oh yeah, we got it all. We got it all covered. This is like a mini festival site. If we haven't met yet, I'm Charlie Charlton. I'm a journalist. I worked for about 20 years in broadcasting with the BBC nationally and regionally, and that's where I got involved with a number of you here on TV and radio. I left the newsroom, though. I left arguing with prime ministers and politicians because I wanted to tell more of the human stories of business. A lot of those have been coming our way, particularly in the Northeast as we were changing, and I know that this is because our society is changing in its way that it can thrive. And that is happening rapidly, and it's happening majorly in the space sector, something that is on the agenda much more day by day. Even today there was the news report about a lot of expeditions that could be potentially happening to Mars in a different way. I'm just going to move this little clanger out the way. And even last night I was in a hotel room, and you kind of, a little bit like, you know, when you're pregnant, all you see are pregnant women. And I feel at the moment all I'm seeing are lots of things to do about space. I turned off the news, and on came Moonraker, potentially the worst James Bond ever made. But I thought we're getting us into that feel of everything that's possible. Now, I work most of my week at a place called Newcastle Helix that I know a number of you are tied to. It's an innovation hub. We have world-leading scientists and technologists there, 2 national innovation centres for data and ageing, alongside SMEs, and a prime in the space sector. What it centres around is knowledge transfer, and that is what Ignite Space will be doing over the next 2 days. We love a fact. The UK's annual revenue from space has grown to £17.5 billion already. There are 48,000 people directly employed in this sector, and it's growing. So this conference is going to explore all facets of that picture. We've got business opportunities, we've got advice selling into primes, and as well as that, scaling up on your own. And we're also going to look at sustainability in the sector. Regulation's a big part of that, of course. We'll look at talent pipelines, we'll look at skills development, and crucially, collaboration. Now, collaboration is something that comes out of events like this because there's something different when you're meeting people face to face. You can hear it now in all of the zones around us. Make the most of your time here. Yes, meet old friends, but make new ones as well. Hear those stories. You never know what's going on in someone's working life or professionally or personally that you might be able to link in with. The first session in the business zone, actually, is going to be on IP, something that's highly important to a lot of SMEs in this room right now. It was due to start at 1:30. We're going to run about 10 minutes late on that, so if you're heading to that, don't worry, that'll be starting at about 1:40 instead. Another bit of housekeeping: no fire drills, fire exits all around the room, so if the alarm sounds, do head out to them. The toilets, if you haven't found them, bathrooms are in the main foyer, and teas and coffees will be there throughout the day. Right, your apps. I want you to get your phones out. You're allowed to. There are QR codes everywhere. Please download the app for a number of reasons. We're paper free. It's all digital. So on here there is an entire list of all of the exhibitors, all of the speakers, everybody who's going to be taking part. But crucially, if you go to the agenda section and open up these specific events here, there's also a list where you can have a live Q&A. So if there are questions that you want to be asked during the panels, then they'll be going straight to the person who's chairing that panel. So get those questions in there. As I said, this is about networking, a word I can't stand. It's more about grown-up friends. So this is an opportunity for you in the discussion forum. So join that, and then you can keep those relationships going. Also, session notes. Take the session notes, and then you can send them to yourself afterwards. So this has a kind of living, breathing document for afterwards. And also what we'd like is there's a poll. So rate that panel that you've been to, rate that session on 1 to 5 in terms of stars. So go ahead and do that. So make sure you use this app. It's a packed schedule, you might have noticed. We've got over 25 sessions across the 2 days. We've got over 60 speakers. So as well as this main stage, we've got focus zones. So we have discussions on the themes of investment, ecosystem, academia, sustainability, and business as well. And out there as well, you've got your pick of the conversation with over 40 exhibitors. There is also the selfie stand, where you can go and get your picture taken with the astronaut suit. Done that. Snazzy glasses on as well. And there is the Wonder Dome, which is parked over there. Pop-up planetarium. All you need to do, you grab free tickets from reception. There are shows for about 12 people at a time, and they run every 30 minutes. So it's a really great show. Free. Get yourself lined up. Can I say a quick thank you to our sponsors, who bring all of this together: Satellite Applications Catapult, Northumbria University, Deloitte, and the Innovation Super Network, and also to the UK Space Agency for bringing this amazing event here. Right, enough of my ramblings. Let's hear from our first speaker of the day. It is Mike Stephens, the CEO of Entrepreneurial Spark. And I don't know about you, but I love it when someone's use of language just nails what a project or an event is actually about. So here is something that I found Mike had said in a post a few weeks ago about today. If you're an investor looking for high potential founders using space technology, both up here, up there, and applied to industries down here, then join us in Leeds. If nothing else, you're going to get to see a really cool drone and find out what a £3 million satellite looks like. He got it in one. So please welcome Mike Stephens. Do you want to give me the clanger? Yeah. Do you want to go in here?
Stay here. I'll stay here. Okay. Well, that was not the way that I wanted to start this, but I've never been quoted before on anything on a stage like this, so that was a great start, followed by a crashing descent through the waves of sound. Good afternoon, everybody. Fantastic to see you all. Thank you so much for joining us at the UK Space Agency's Business Growth Conference. My name is Mike Stephens. As Charlie said, I'm the CEO of Entrepreneurial Spark, and together with Exatopic, we are the lead delivery partners on the UK Space Agency's accelerator, so we're a key part of the business support landscape. The reason I'm here welcoming you, I'm here as a... Oh, thank you. Oh, I can't stand still. So I'm here to welcome...
Do you want me to stand there and sign for you? Is that not working either? You can turn my mic off and turn this one on. Here we go. I am going to stand next to me there. There we go.
Hello. We can make this work. So, where was I? Yes. UK Business Support Conference. So we run the accelerator. So I'm here as a member of the Ignite Space community, just like you. 8th time lucky. Here we go.
Hey!
Hey! Yes, I'm here as a member of the Ignite Space community. Paul Bates, the CEO of UK Space Agency, was meant to be here opening the conference, but we're having a little thing called a general election. and that means that the government goes into purdah, so they have to shut down all the communications, which means, unfortunately, Paul is not able to take to a stage for the minute. So you've got me, lucky you, as the replacement. I very much see myself as an Aldi middle aisle kind of replacement for Paul, so definitely not what you came for. We'll do a perfectly adequate job, but you'll leave with a sort of vague sense of regret afterwards. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to do my best anyway to welcome you in his stead. So Ignite Space, what an opportunity over the next couple of days. Fantastic agenda, as Charlie has said, packed with all sorts of things. This is actually the third Ignite Space. So the first one was originally scheduled for March 2020 and then was interrupted by the pandemic. And I remember Portia specifically held off until we could all get back together in person because of the energy and the value of the connections that we all know we get from these in-person events. So November 21, 250 people trooped off to Edinburgh. And I remember the level of social engineering that was needed. Do you remember masks and sanitizers and distancing and standing 2 meters apart in queues? A huge amount of engineering went into keeping everybody safe. And here we are just 2.5 years on, how quickly time has flown. As I was preparing this, it just made me reflect on where this has come from. So Ignite number 2 was in Bristol last year, at Bristol Aerospace, underneath the last Concorde to be manufactured and fly in the UK. And then here we are in Leeds for an expanded 2-day event. 250 people at the first one. We're now expecting 500 across the 2 days. So it's doubled in size in the short space of time that it's been running, which I think is a real testament to the level of excitement and growth in the space business ecosystem in those 2 years. So that's what Ignite is all about. It was designed originally as an affordable way for space businesses, particularly small businesses and startups, to come together with free tickets, affordable exhibition stands, and an event that's purely focused on them and their growth. And I think we can agree that Portia and the team have done a great job of pulling that whole thing together today. Where does it fit into the UK Space Agency's agenda? So I'm doing this bit. There are three objectives for the UK Space Agency that I talk about a lot in the accelerator. The first is to catalyse investment, and we'll certainly be doing a lot of that over the next 2 days with people connecting with experts, business support organisations that can help them get investment ready and connect with the funders that they need. The second is about delivering space missions and capabilities, and again, connecting technologists together, connecting startups with innovative ideas, with the expertise that they need to bring their technology to life. We'll certainly be powering some of those future missions. And third is about championing space. So by bringing the event to Leeds, bringing all these people together, we're really showcasing what's great about the space business ecosystem, more or less bang in the middle of the UK. Don't quote me on the geography publicly anywhere. So Ignite Space is really delivering into all of those capabilities. So that's why the agency is doing it. What's in it for you as individuals? So I'm a business owner. I know how precious time is to all of us, and taking 2 days out is a really big investment. But I can guarantee, having been to 2 of these already, that it will be worth it. So as Charlie's already mentioned, there's a really jam-packed agenda full of great insights to help you to grow your business. There's also a really diverse, really good mix of people here, I think, between the stand holders, a couple of people that I've bumped into from various places. There's a really good mix of government, business support. You should be able to find the connections you need in this room. And the third thing, I guess, is about just practicing some of those business skills. And sometimes we don't really think about this, but how good's your pitch? Who are you pitching to today? Who are your key pitches over the next couple of days? Are you connecting with the right people? Are you being opportunity hungry? Just having the opportunity to exercise some of those things is a great thing to be able to do here over the next 2 days. So that's what Ignite Space is all about for individuals, as us for individuals. I guess I want to close on talking about our collective job here over the next 2 days. So, has it gone? Oh no, here we go, it's back. Maybe that was a hint. Space is a very technology-heavy industry. So combining space and business, you're always going to get a lot of technology. And I think we produce some fantastic technology in this country. And having run the Space Accelerator for the last 2 years, I've seen some of the great, talented people with ambitious, bold, sometimes game-changing ideas coming out of the woodwork. What we're not always great at doing is creating the social technology that enables the tech that we build to go out and get big and influence the lives of people. So I see that as all of our collective responsibility today. If we can forge new business pathways here over the next couple of days, it will make a massive difference to the ability of that technology to improve the lives of people in lots of different parts of the world. So when you're thinking about how you want to show up for the next 2 days, I would encourage you to absolutely make the most of it. Be the person whose job it is to welcome that person standing on their own. Connect them to a source or something that will be useful for them. Be the connector that you would want to meet. And if you do that, then I can guarantee if you give a little bit, then someone will do the same for you and you'll get a lot back in return. That's my hope for the next couple of days. I hope you all enjoy it. I hope you have a fantastic time. You make loads of valuable connections, and I'll really look forward to seeing you all out there.
If you don't mind, can I keep you on stage for 1 minute? You've got a working microphone, Mike. Come on.
That was my first mistake.
I think you honed in on something that I would like to pick up on, which was the pitch, because we're talking about building this kind of social network. But when you're chatting to somebody and you're explaining what you do, and you're not necessarily convinced they're a peer in your sector, how best to communicate that?
How best to communicate the pitch?
About what you do.
Oh, yes, so...
See if they're a potential collaborator.
So we have a 60-second pitching formula because, as you say, you don't want to spend 20 minutes talking to someone, especially if you're still trying to understand what they do after 20 minutes. So 60 seconds, who are you? Start with a hook, something interesting about yourself or your industry, a story, not just a job title. Talk about the problem that you're solving, so where you fit in context within the industry, and then a maximum of 3 sentences on what you do. And you can get through all of that in 60 seconds. You can figure out if this is a conversation that you want to have, and if not, you can exchange pleasantries and be on your way. And
with that, moving on to potential collaboration, you haven't got the time to do full gap analysis and talk through all these different problems. Are there any kind of flags that you should look out for within conversations where you think, you know what? I see something there.
Yeah, I think it's identifying who the people are that you either you can connect with or you can connect them with, even if there's nothing there. So if there's something there directly between the two of you, the thing that I always look for is shared values. So do they believe roughly the same things as you? Are they operating in a similar place? And then it's worth continuing the conversation and finding out whether whether the logistics work, whether the market things and the money all fit together and things. But beyond that, it's thinking about the person as the center of a network and figuring out who else they know, who else you know, and how you can make those things fit together.
And coming at that completely unbiased, not with your predictors on, that's the type of person I've seen before working in this sector. I'm going to hone in on them.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I think you can come to these things and you can connect in with all of the people that you know, and that's lovely and comfortable, and might reinforce a few of the relationships. But the exponential value of one of these things is meeting that new person who you never thought would be there, who can actually unlock the next big opportunity for you, or who even just sparks a new idea of something that you could do differently.
Entrepreneurial Spark. Well done, you got it in there. Thank you very much, Mike Stephens. Thank you. Okay. This conference is being delivered by UMi, and UMi helps businesses of all sizes find and use effectively the best information, the best expertise, and the best access to finance. It's run by Nicki Clark, and Nicki headed to Buckingham Palace a few years ago to collect an OBE for services to business and social enterprise in the northeast of England. So I was thinking, who better to talk us through what businesses can gain from an event like Ignite Space than Nicki Clark OBE.
Well, hello. It's lovely to see you, and I've made a really poor colour choice today. I know that I'm probably like a floating head here if I blended into the background. We were chatting about that earlier. Unfortunately, I'll start with an apology. I'm not going to be able to be here at the close tomorrow, so I do want to take this opportunity to say a massive thank you to Charlie. She is a force to be reckoned with, and the work she's doing on shining a spotlight on businesses is incredible, and we're really lucky to have you with us and hosting the next couple of days. Thank you very much. A very, very warm welcome from myself and the rest of the team at UMi. As Charlie was saying, UMi exists to help businesses do more and go further, and we do that by simply making it easier to access the very, very best business support and finance. And since 2007, we've helped over 650,000 businesses. And some examples, if you like, of how we've helped them succeed is finding the right finance. We've delivered over £300 million worth of funding into SMEs across the UK. But really importantly, we've used that to help leverage £650 million worth of private sector investment on the back of that, which is what really, really matters. And in addition to that, one of the reasons why we're here today is what we believe in is real practical business opportunities. And we've helped our customers secure over £185 million worth of new orders, actual orders, in new supply chains. Opportunities, if you like, that they otherwise would be out of their reach. And we do that through our supply chain development programs. And you'll probably hear a little bit more about that over the course of the next 2 days. So that should give you a really, really good idea about why we got very excited about the opportunity to work with the UK Space Agency, our sponsors and partners in Ignite Space. Where else can 500 businesses learn, exhibit, connect and innovate over the space of 24 hours? Like Mike was saying earlier, absolutely incredible opportunity. You'll be able to spot our team, the UMi team, throughout the event in their lovely teal T-shirts, aptly named as navigators across the back. They are really, really passionate about making sure that each and every one of you get absolutely what you need out of the next 24 hours. So please, please do connect with them. And I'm super proud, actually, of what the team have done and achieved so far in facilitating the conference. Perhaps not the AV at the start, but I'm really proud of what we've achieved so far. But it genuinely wouldn't have happened without the sponsors and specialist partners that have helped putting this on over the course of the next couple of days. Without them, there wouldn't be the vibrancy, scale, specialisms, or level of opportunity that there is in this conference. You've heard from Mike a little bit about the space sector, but and why sponsors like the Space Agency and the partners have championed today's conference and previous conferences. But the case for space was documented by the Department for Science, Innovation and Technology and an organisation called No Space last July. I don't know whether any of you have read that particular document. And it forecasts that the sector is going to be worth over £1 trillion over the next 20 years, an absolutely extraordinary figure. And as a result of that, its potentially disproportionate impact on economic growth and the creation of better and more highly skilled jobs. No surprise then why the case was made for continued public investment in the sector. And a direct quote from the report is, "The sector excels when measured against HM Treasury's investment and policy criteria." So what I'll leave you with as you move on to your next sessions is I really, really hope that you're feeling tremendously proud as individuals. Not only because you represent individually brilliant businesses, but through your ability to create better jobs, scientific and technological advancements, and maintain the very, very important infrastructure that we need to survive and thrive. You, singly and collectively, I believe, have the opportunity to transform, improving the impact that we have on our planet and the well-being, safety and equality of every single one of us in the world today. The space sector, I believe, is truly a realm of infinite opportunity and possibility, and I hope you're going to grasp those over the course of the next 24 hours. Have a tremendous couple of days, guys. Thank you.
As if by magic, I emerged. One thing I was just thinking, 1 trillion over the next 20 years.
Yeah.
In order to get there, there are different players in this. And of course there is politics. We're not going to talk about it. We've got politics, we've got a mixture of that with place, we've got people, we've got all of these things coming together. But a difficult mix can sometimes be that public to private sector combination.
Indeed.
I mean, you deal with that an awful lot in terms of grants as well and funding. Do you, no matter who comes in, do you think that will become a stronger link? There is this industrial plan, of course.
I think it has to. And I do think that some of the constructs that are now being established, some of the collaboration across the public and private sector is really starting to help, but more absolutely needs to be done. And we are just one player in that. And we really work hard to make those connections much, much easier. Because if we can do that, people like these guys, businesses can operate faster, slicker, seize more opportunities, and that's what we need to drive that growth and economic prosperity.
You created the sat-nav, haven't you?
Yes, so sat-nav was one of our crazier ideas at the time, but basically what we decided to do was blend the power of people, if you will, as human beings, with technology, so that businesses who perhaps are very well established and know exactly where they want to head, but don't quite know the best route to get there, can easily find that and find the best specialists, the best funding and finance and so on and so forth to help them get there as quickly and as efficiently as possible. But even if you're just starting out, like perhaps many people here today, and you don't know where your destination point is because you're not quite sure, but you've got tons of enthusiasm and ambition, then equally we can help you, pinpoint that place on the map where you want to be, and also help you find a really, really efficient and perhaps less risky path to get there. So that's what SatNav is all about.
Thank you very much. Nicki
Thanks,
Clark.
Charlie.
Well, let me be your human sat-nav for a second, because Nicki's going to be back later to host our Space for Good session during the evening networking, something I'm going to be in the audience for, which I'm really excited about, instead of on the stage. That'll be great. Right now, that we have our zone sessions, starting with that one about IP. This is the importance of IP in the business zone, something really pertinent at the moment. Now, there is a very interesting way that this is going to work. So as you can hear, we're in the main stage area. There's a hubbub, and that is coming from the exhibitor stands, yeah? But also within each of these zones, so we have the business zone sponsored by Northumbria University, we have the ecosystem zone sponsored by the Satellite Applications Catapult, we have the investment zone sponsored by Innovation Super Network, the sustainability zone sponsored by Deloitte, and the academia zone. And the way they're going to work, and I'm going to dip into one of these because I think it's fantastic, they're going to work like a silent disco. So you're going to have the person who's hosting everything here talking into a little microphone, but then you'll be able to hear everything on a set of headphones, which will be in your little area, which allows everything to operate at just the same time. You see? Mini festival. Coming up, we have also some great people on the panel. Coming up, we've got Satellite Applications Catapult, Space Hub Yorkshire, Pan Galactic, Brandauer, Open Cosmos, right here, talking about the space ecosystem. But later, we have a very extraordinary person, I'm delighted to say is here, Dasha Filchinka, who is winner of the Sir Arthur Clarke Award. Not an astronaut. She does know a fair bit about space engineering, but she's a survivor of the Ukraine war and a founder of a specialist comms agency who have, I think they've got like 60 plus clients in just 4 years. They're specialists in this area. And she's quite a phenomenal woman. So we'll have a keynote from her later on. Remember, pick up those free tickets for the Wonder Dome, the pop-up planetarium from the main reception, and I will see you back here at 2 o'clock. We'll have chairs on the stage, and we'll get started with our very first panel session of Ignite Space 2024. Thank you.